Hello, I'm Kyle Loxton, joined by Kyle, and you're now listening to the SoulInsights Podcast. Let it rain, be the forecast. C&K coming through with a new broadcast. UK raised at a show on the dog tag. Everything changed, but we always stay on track. Straight face in the place, yeah, I'm on that. Every week a new episode on tap. Same phase, new pace, better contact. Socials, SoulInsights Index, we follow that.
Right, hello and welcome to the SoulInsights Podcast. I'm Kyle Loxton, joined by
Kyle.
And we're going to be reviewing our Morocco trip.
And you might not even hear this intro because we actually filmed one in the desert, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. So we could come back saying, well, if you've watched that video, then we're going to carry on. And Morocco slapped.
Yeah, and if you didn't, because it didn't get included, then you've just heard the intro. So, jokes.
Right. We'll just go into it, yeah?
Just crack on.
Have you got the little thing? Okay. Music recommendation is going to the SI Pod playlist. It's Wavy Jones with a $sign. I'm not worried about the end.
No, I'm not. I just wish it had come sooner.
So it's similar to like Tyro playlist, what we listen to a lot, Suicide Boys sort of vibe. Yeah, check it on there. I mean, it's going to be quite a few of those style of songs probably in the next couple of weeks.
It's probably all it's going to be forever now, isn't it?
It's a genre that I'll probably spam. You spam as well.
Yeah. It's the only thing I listen to now. I've binned off everything else.
It's definitely a fade. Like I said, it'd be interesting to see Spotify Wrapped. To see what actually is a thing. Because I think there was like enough in that. I bet we can review that. Like that'd be a cool pod episode because we could show some interesting artists that aren't necessarily mainstream. So I think it would be quite good to do an episode because it would just be random artists. I'm not gonna lie.
I hit 25,000 minutes listened the other day. For the year.
Really?
Yeah. I listen 8 hours a day at work, so
mine would probably be a lot of podcasts. So I could actually shout out there. My side podcast.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
podcast.
Listening to this one,
But
obviously. Yeah. Right. TV, film, game.
Yep.
Game Starfield. It had to be, didn't it?
Banging.
Just come out as of recording this episode, so probably
some good
like
stuff's been
6
said.
years ago by the time this comes out.
Probably old news.
Yeah. I know nothing about it. I just saw one video where somebody threw a grenade just before the cutscene started, and it glitched out the entire game.
It's buggy, I think, because if you're a fan, I probably know a little bit more, I guess. If you're a fan of Skyrim and Fallout, it's the same developers as them, so expect the buggy sort of gameplay experience, which you would normally have. But that's what makes the magic of those developers. Like, they always are known for those bugs.
In which case, expect the game to be shit by them.
Banter NPCs and hilarious voice acting. Probably. But it seems quite refreshing. Actually, quite a decent game, people are saying. I'd like to check it out personally because I enjoy Fallout. And
sponge the Xbox, can't you?
Might have to.
TV, there's no film. I don't know. There might be something new come out. I don't know. Oh,
Equalizer 3.
Huh?
Equalizer 3. I'd recommend watching because I fucking love that film.
There we go.
So it's out.
You've got The Ruins. It's number 1 on Netflix. That was jokes.
Yes.
Some shit film, but it was jokes.
Yeah.
And the new Adam Sandler film with his daughters, which was all right, but it needed more Adam Sandler. Right. TV show, Top Boy, whatever the fuck it even is.
Oh, yeah,
new
really know,
but the new season came out and everybody's talking about it.
I don't think you'd like that. So. It's got some cool, I think Kano and like some other UK rappers are in. I think Dave's in it.
I'll watch it.
It's like London gangster. I don't particularly like the roadman slang or
that's
talking.
The problem,
I don't particularly like that too much. Yeah. Call me Posh Boy, but
that's big at the moment, so you can always check that out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's probably worth checking out anyway.
Sound.
Oh. Fucking... It was right. The Dictionary of Sorrows by John Koenig. We should actually split these into little jingles though, because otherwise it is kind of just rambling. Chapter 2: The Interior Wilderness, defining who you are from the inside out. Shut up, Lil Welland. And the word is, or the words, the whipgraft delusion. And it is the phenomenon in which you catch your reflection in the mirror and get the sense that you're peering into the eyes of a stranger as if you're looking at a police sketch of your own face aged forward 20 years, which would imply that the real you is out there somewhere wandering the streets of your old neighbourhood still at large.
What?
So you kind of just like, you get certain lyrics where you can't look at your own reflection. You don't really want to look at yourself. I guess it's kind of that sort of vibe where you're just not feeling yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror like, what is
the point in that?
Yeah.
Why does that thing exist?
But you say if you took it back 20 years, you might be more innocent and you're more happy sort of thing. You kind of just like, what's happened now? Maybe. It might be more of a, but like I said, obscure sorrow. So I think it's probably more of a darker take is literally like you look at yourself, you can't face yourself. So
made up word at the end of the day, so think what you want.
Yeah. What are we doing now? Cocktail. Shake. It's called Jamaican Shake, and it is a fine training drink for amateur limbo dancers, as it lowers the body's center of gravity, induces a feeling of elasticity in the legs, and numbs the upper portion of the head. A blessing if you should fall backwards in mid-bend. Ideally, you should take your shake onto the beach and drink it under the tropical sun. Failing that, borrow a sun lamp and do the best you can. Start with 1 1/4 ounces of rum, add a scoop of vanilla ice cream, an ounce of pineapple juice, 1/4 of an ounce of grenadine, and an ounce of double cream. That sounds insane.
Does sound pretty nice, actually.
Mix in a blender with crushed ice, remove all restrictive clothing and serve. Do not attempt to drink and limbo at the same time. The rum goes straight to the brain cells and it's several days before you can regain an upright position. That sounds insane.
So you said, you're limbo and you're falling like whatever it was at the start. All I thought of was the gymnast's death in Final Destination. Final Destination 5, film to watch. There you go, gymnast's death.
No.
Jokes.
Don't watch that.
Folding like a piece of paper.
But I think
sounds really nice, actually. Yeah,
and that's easy enough ingredients. Grenadine, that's easy enough to get, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Pineapple juice, cream, and ice cream, and rum. What sort of rum? Any rum? Flavoured
whatever
rum?
You want,
coconut
probably.
rum?
Well,
anything.
Rum,
just normal rum.
Yeah, you'd have your Captain Morgan's.
Why is the rum gone? Rum, isn't it? Captain, what is it? Buddy?
Jamaican me laugh.
Fuck off.
Okay.
No,
I won't go up.
Main topic.
So, if you don't already know from what we've already said, and probably the little video that was at the start, hopefully, we went to Morocco. I was going to say some random country then, but I thought about not.
For 1 week?
Yeah, one of our actual longer trips, isn't it?
What would you?
In fact, it might be our longest trip.
Actually, probably is.
7 nights. Like,
still out of a backpack.
Anywhere.
Because why not?
Yeah, we lived out a backpack, and people called us insane.
Exactly. Where's your luggage?
It's like,
what luggage?
Oh, have you left your luggage?
Your luggage.
Have you left your luggage in Marrakesh in a hotel or something? It's like, no,
you've left your luggage in
Marrakesh. In my bag.
Yeah,
have you left your dignity at home?
I've left my soul.
I left my existence at home.
What would you do? Sum it up? Decent.
The mic noise, that's what I'd sum it up as.
Done.
Just don't move.
Well, it keeps fucking...
No, don't move. You're not allowed to move at all.
Okay,
still. Don't even move your mouth.
Fucking shitty connection. Yeah.
Just like the internet. Okay. Yeah, so jokes the 4G was better in the Sahara Desert than it is at home.
Yeah.
And yeah.
My phone, yeah. Well, for you, because my phone got locked.
Well, yeah.
Which is good.
If you're going, right, handy little tip, because it's the first thing we found out, or 2 tips. You have to get money while you're there, because it's closed currency, so you need to kind of do it when you're there. You probably want quite a bit, because it does seem to go quite a lot, and a lot of places only accept cash.
Mm-hmm.
And tips, it's nice to give tips as well. And what were we going to say? What were you saying? Oh, phone. Make sure your phone's unlocked.
Yeah.
And get an eSIM. So not a paid sponsor, not a sponsor in any way. But we used Holofly. It's decent. It's easy enough to use. It gives you all the instructions. You just scan a QR code and press a couple buttons on your phone. Make sure you put that SIM as your main one instead of your actual SIM, and you get to use unlimited data for the entire time.
Not texting.
So no texts, no calls. It's only data. So you'd use text and calls on your own stuff, and it'd be however much your own signal provider costs. But definitely worth doing. You can pick how many days you want it for. I've not actually looked at my phone since it ran out, so I don't know what it does, but you can delete it off after anyway.
It was quite reasonable for what it was, especially if it's unlimited data, and the data was quite quick as well, to be honest.
So ours was unlimited data for 10 days, and it was about 26 quid, I think, something like that. Which, yeah, if you wanted 1 gigabyte of data from O2, it was like 70 quid, and we used more than a gigabyte.
Mm-hmm.
So we used about 1.5, 2 gigs.
And if you get it exclusive through SI Pod playlist and use the code SUCK yourself, you get an extra butty. No, I'm joking.
You get an extra nothing because why would they sponsor?
That'd be
us?
banging though, getting them sponsor.
Yeah.
Do they cover all these different countries? I mean, they specifically, obviously, we did look at Morocco, didn't we? But
Yeah, no, they do everywhere. So even if you're traveling somewhere else, not necessarily
Just check 'em
Morocco, have a look. You
Yeah.
type in, see if your country where you're going is eligible, and yeah, probably the best thing we found, to be honest, about like going, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise it's expensive as shit, or you can't use your phone.
that,
And maps don't work very well.
and like you
at
said, if
all.
you had a certain credit card that doesn't do obviously your transaction fees and things, isn't it? If you take money out,
yeah,
if
so
you get travel cards,
yeah.
there's probably certain travel cards that you can do specifically for the traveling, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever your bank does,
Just usually you get cash fees. So if you're taking money out of an ATM, you get cash fees,
which you
I
can't
think
help when you're out there. I guess.
for me was 3%, I think. Anyway, that's enough of the boring shit. What do we
Yeah.
actually do?
Yeah, that was it. And one thing you say about Morocco is what we got told whilst we're out there is if it's your first experience of Africa, Morocco seems to be the first place for you to see. It gives you a taste. It's still a little bit touristy, I think. Certain things and certain like areas you went to were still touristy, wasn't it? But you still had that African vibe of madness at times, I think.
The African vibe of what the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
as
Still
well
got
as it was like a safe place. Like we saw there was cameras everywhere, wasn't there? You got all these shitty, dodgy little alleyways, and there's a lot
And
of cameras on them.
You still have people that, like, I guess, you look like us. So it's like Germans and things, isn't it? You wouldn't say, like, I would compare it, say if you went to Ghana, you stood out a lot more.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But like Morocco, you still had, if certain areas,
There's
you
a lot
could
of
tell-
tourists.
Yeah,
so
you
there's
see more
a
people.
lot of European people rather
Yeah.
than your Africans.
Yeah.
Or wherever. Yeah, Africans basically.
Yeah, so
Af-
recommend it. Like if you want to check out Africa and like experience some culture, then Morocco would be your first.
Don't stay in one place though. Travel around. So
Yeah.
obviously we'll come on to that about where we went and what we did exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So
We'll just kick off with the
yeah,
each day. Yeah,
we don't need to necessarily day it. We'll just
I'm gonna get a few
so
pictures.
start with was Marrakesh. So
Yeah,
busy as fuck place. Nighttime.
definitely more.
Very, very busy.
Mm.
And the roads are absolute clusterfucks. So it was quite funny. Like you just basically send yourself across the road. You just jokes and imagine jaywalking being a thing.
Exactly.
You just,
Yeah, you kind of just find a spot and then do it.
You just go. Cars
Crossy roads,
and
yeah.
mopeds will just weave around you, won't they? Like you just walk.
But you did say it's split into two, didn't it? I had Old Town and New Town, like you get in some cities now, isn't it? You get obviously the old and new version.
Yeah.
The old is a lot more alleyways and mopeds, isn't it? 'Cause obviously it's all the souks and markets.
Mopeds down alleyways where it's about 2 person wide, so
Mhm.
they
You just
come
hear it in the
flying at you
distance
and
or
you have to
something,
squish
isn't it?
against the wall. Yeah.
Hear the little 50cc engine,
yeah.
like, and you're like, oh shit, get onto one side. But then the new is obviously a lot more modern, and like you said, it was easier to walk around because you said maps was a bit trolled as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The alleyways.
The alleyways, it doesn't work. It doesn't recognise like the names
Little
of the
ones.
streets and shit like that. So trying to find places is a bit jokes. And usually, if you try and type in like your hotel or your riad, you'll end up being like 400 meters away from where it actually is.
To go on to that,
So-
we stayed in Riyadh a lot of the time as well, which is basically like what we say guest house.
It's a
isn't
guest house, so it's privately run place.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, like it's too big to be somebody's house, but it's not like a chained hotel kind of thing. So they're probably the best way to go about it, to be honest.
Especially for
'Cause
some culture and for
you get to
accommodation.
see, it's not just your bog standard like all-inclusive holiday.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly. You're staying at the resort,
Yeah.
and then you said like trying to find the signs to them were jokes. It's kind of just like you said, basically someone's house, so you're looking for a sign on a door rather than like a
Yeah.
hotel, which you'd see like obviously big lit up signs, isn't it?
You
kind of
walk down
gotta find the alleyway.
some weird little alleyway with a tiny little sign on the door saying what it is.
Yeah, but then when you open up into that, it opens up a whole lot
opens
again,
up
isn't it? It's
massive,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
fucking
some random
mental.
little door that goes into,
Yeah.
and that's what I remember some people saying to me was like, for restaurants, it is just a little door on the side of a building.
Yeah.
When you go in there, it's like massive, but on the outside, it looks like what is this?
You'll be able to look on his Instagram and all that shit. There'll be loads of pictures and stuff of what we actually saw.
Yeah,
Like what some of the Riads look like and that sort of thing.
definitely. Like you said,
So it's
recommend
cool to
it.
see.
And you can get them. Oh, it's not a sponsor again, but like you can still get them through Booking.com. Some of them list on it, but there is another website. What was it? Marrakesh Riads is like
Yeah.
a little company that you can get through them directly. Sort of thing.
Well,
So,
it's their actual
like a
Riads.
selection, isn't it?
So they've got their own. Like we've got one round where we live. I won't say the name, but where that one company's got like a few different ones around. So you could say Hilton, let's just say.
Yeah.
They've got different locations for their hotels. Or you could say Spoons. They're all named something different, but they all come under the same
umbrella
company.
Sort of. Yeah.
So it's like that. They've got like 8 or 9 or something like that around Marrakesh, and they're all under the same business, but it's like different. They're run slightly differently, aren't they?
So yeah, the first night we went to the square. Do you know what the name of the square was? Jamar El Fanar, is it?
Something like that. Yeah,
I'm saying too British probably, but
butchering the names.
AAELFNAA square, which is kind of like one of the busy hotspots of Marrakesh.
Absolute clusterfuck.
Which I don't know if we saw it during the day, but at night it's quite lively, and it's quite interesting, to be honest. Like a lot of it opens up. It's obviously touristy. I felt like quite safe as well, to be honest. I mean, it is pretty busy, so I guess watch out for pickpockets.
Yeah.
Obviously typical tourist vibes, isn't it?
Just don't point at stuff and don't seem interested in anything, because then you get all of the little shopkeeper people will be bugging you for their fake football shirts and all that. And so it's a good thing to see though. Like it's something completely different. It's like it's your typical market, but on an absolutely mental scale.
Yeah, definitely selling all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you probably get anything and everything there, really.
Yeah,
straight face.
We had cool smoothies and stuff. One next to it was all fresh fruit and stuff. And
yeah,
it's all reasonably priced. I don't think that was crazy. All of that seems like market value, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and you can haggle, obviously.
Yeah,
and cheaper stuff.
They're like 100.
I remember getting told
100 mad, and you're like, I'll give you 4.
One thing that we did get told, I'll probably say on pod, is you would probably maybe do like a third of what was initially offered, so it kind of looked a bit insulting, and then you eventually go up from there. If you just halve it and then you kind of agree, you could have missed out on a little bit more. So you could just go jokes initially, or you just say nah, like, isn't it? And then you eventually see how far they want to go down. It's a typical haggling sort of thing.
Because you know everything's overpriced anyway.
Yeah. Especially for tourists who don't really know, or they don't have the confidence to possibly haggle, isn't it?
Yeah, you think, that's how much it is. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. What was the other thing we tried?
Oh, fucking tagine. It's the first thing we ate when we were there, and it's pretty much the only fucking thing we ate when we were there.
It was nice, though.
There's some gandy vegetables in it sometimes, not going to lie. But it was nice. You get different kinds. So you get lamb, beef, chicken, goat, vegetarian stuff. You get couscous in there sometimes. Yeah, most meats end up on the fucking bone, especially when it's chicken. It's horrible. When it's like lamb or beef and that, it's not as bad because the bones are obviously bigger. But chicken was a bit awkward.
Juices are banging with the bread.
Yeah, juices. Proper. Wait, did you say juices?
Juices, yeah.
As in like orange juice?
Oh no, the juices from the tagine. Oh. Like when you mop it up with the bread, banging.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the juices, like you said, like it's properly pressed, like just
like
fruit.
They've gone and got a load of oranges and actually squeezed them into a glass, kind of thing. Yeah.
And then the water's obviously it's all bottled.
Yeah, don't drink the town water. You'll get ill, like severely.
Yeah, but we didn't actually see that on offer anyway, did we? Even like locals were just drinking bottled water. It seemed like.
But don't have ice in your drinks because that's going to end up being tap water frozen.
No, but if you do ask for iced water, normally it's the bottle frozen anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, so they'll literally just chuck the bottles in the freezer. Yeah,
so it's just kind of iced anyway.
Yeah.
That was the first night, wasn't it? It's just kind of, we arrived late and we kind of just got there, saw a madness at night with the traffic. That was your first impression, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the taxi going through, like, what is this? I said, this is probably the vibe, to be fair.
Go out to the square, have some food, and then go back to the Riyadh.
Yeah, because we had to wake up early.
Early wake up for the Sahara trip. So I'll have to get the locations up on my phone.
Yeah, that's
it's a lot. It was a very good trip. So 3-day Sahara trip.
From Marrakesh, isn't it?
If anybody wants to know, you can just ask, and then we'll send it to you. That's the easiest way to do it, rather than
3 days from Marrakesh. We got picked up to Merzouga, wasn't it? Merzouga, which is
Merzouga, I think. Which is
far east, isn't it, of the country?
Yeah, east, southeast,
quite close to like Algerian border.
It's on the Algerian border, yeah.
So
I don't actually have the screenshot of that. Exactly.
But you don't just directly go there on the way there. You kind of go up the Atlas Mountains. They take you on some nice scenic stuff. You see quite a bit of like parts of Morocco where you stop off and just experience other parts of it, don't you?
You stop off in the Atlas Mountain, or we stopped off in the Atlas Mountains. It was Tizi and Tichka, which is 2,260 meters, which is like one of the higher points that you can actually stop at on the road, I think.
Yeah.
So we
windy mountain road sort of thing.
Like your little Italian mountain roads and that kind of thing. So that's like kind of like first impression, like you see. We ended up stopping off a billion times because you stop off at restaurants and shit to get food and water and all that. So that was Friday. So we also went to Ozazate, or however the fuck you want to say that, which is a little place where they film a shit ton of stuff.
We went there on the first day, did we?
On the Friday, wasn't that?
Oh, okay. I can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, we'll just run with it. Where they film.
What was it? Honestly, I don't know. We'll just cluster fuck it all into one. Because
Yeah, no, it's Friday. Actually was. Mad. Can't remember that. It would have been because I guess it was early. We got picked up, didn't we?
Yeah, because then we went to the hotel and then Saturday we went.
Yeah, then Saturday night we stayed at the camp. Yeah, no, so Friday, we went to this village and it gets used in a lot of movie sets. So like sort of Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Gladiator, and I think you did say they just stopped filming from Gladiator 2, didn't they? Denzel Washington wandering around. So it was pretty, if you're like a film buff, like it was insane to go around
TV series as well. You got Game of Thrones, Prison Break, some other stuff like that.
And they did say one of the areas, they made the gateway to it's like an old Casbah, isn't it? That's what they said it was.
Yeah,
like an old fort sort of thing.
Yeah.
Old school. There's a gate at the start that's made purely for a movie set and it's nothing to do with the actual village. And I thought that was pretty cool. And they said they use that in a lot of scenes. So it's cool to say like you've gone somewhere. And throughout that little village, they've kind of done it up for the tourists as well, because I guess that's how they make their money.
Yeah, so you walk through and you buy loads of stuff, can't you?
You can, and they got like pictures of like them with the actors and like them on set and things like that. So that was pretty cool. And they said there's a helipad at the top, I think, where like the actors kind of fly in to do it, isn't it? Which is what the one of the Aussies that we travelled with, he saw that, which is pretty cool to see. But it's still authentic through them. So when there's nothing on set, I think it's still an active family that lives in there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
So that was, it was insane to see, to be fair. And obviously they talk about how they get their colours, didn't they? So doing that it was like certain
rug stuff, and
I can't remember all the colours for it, was it?
Shit.
But like if you had yellow, it was like saffron or something.
It's all natural
like
stuff.
Yeah,
like they make all the colours themselves, so
which is insane.
Pretty cool, yeah. I can't remember exactly what we've done like throughout, because we stopped so many times, and you stop and like look at something for 2 seconds, and it's like okay,
yeah,
and you carry on. We stayed in a hotel in Tangier, if that's how you say it. Which is obviously near the Ozazate place.
Yeah.
So
they put you up in a hotel for that night.
Yeah, nice hotel as well. Apart from the water pressure was a bit jokes.
Yeah, it was a bit jokes in the morning. I think we were lucky enough to get a shower in the morning, but some people on the trip, the water went, which was jokes.
The pressure ran out, like toilets and everything as well. Like none of it would work.
But it was alright hotel. Like it was a nice meal again at Tagine, and like we broke the ice a little bit with certain people that we were traveling with, and I mean, if you're going out to the desert with some people, it's nice to actually be on friendly terms with them. You know.
Yeah, you can actually have a conversation, kind of thing, and so.
Yeah, so it was a nice evening, and I tried Casablanca Citron there.
Oh, Casablanca Citron,
which
lemon beer,
insane.
Banging.
Yeah, I want to try and get it imported here.
You can't get anywhere. We couldn't even find it online.
Beautiful,
so
beautiful beer.
Jokes.
So that was. And we got told
all day, really,
how to wear a neck scarf that day as well, because we picked up one. Because obviously the jokes time of year, we went to travel in the desert. It went up to...
The highest it'll go is 56, but I believe it was about 50 when we were there. 50, 52. Like the hottest when we were there. It's
advised to wear like something obviously on your head in the heat, and they said indigo is the best like sunscreen sort of preventer thing.
And it's also, you need the headscarf in case you get like sandstorms, any sand blowing around, it protects your face.
Yeah, because it could blow up. Obviously, what we experienced in the Sahara and that recently.
Yeah, exactly, in the UK.
Jokes.
Just as we get back.
But it's like nature, anything can flare up, you know what I mean? Like, you'd probably be prepared for it. I don't really know. Like, it could be with the sea, isn't it? All of a sudden, you could get caught in some sort of...
Yeah, like you go out to sea in a boat and you just get a mad, like, fucking storm.
Imagine it's like the sea, just sand version. Yeah. But, and they did say, fun fact... In Sahara, you see a lot of people wear blue, and their nickname's like Blue Man, isn't it?
Blue Man.
So they all wear like all that indigo colour. not white.
Which a lot of the people that we
interesting.
like guides and that are all wearing blue stuff, weren't they?
Yeah,
So,
it's the best way for sun. So if you do want to go at jokes time of year, then wear indigo.
The end of August is the best time to go if you want to go
Yeah.
for absolute jokes.
Crispy
'cause
season.
it is the hottest time. Even the locals were saying we were stupid. Especially, you know, pasty white boy called Kyle.
But yeah, it's still really, it's a well cool experience. So
Yeah, it was cool. That's that day.
we haven't actually gone to Sari yet. Yeah, so we've left the hotel now.
So next day you leave the hotel. I can't remember what we did during the day, to be honest.
That we met tagine, couscous.
Oh, so
and
we
the
went to
rugs
see
and that.
some, like a little demonstration of how they make the rugs.
I've got the
and that
locations
sort
here.
of
I wonder
stuff.
if it's here. Like Tudga, so Toudghaelia. I think we stayed there most of the day. So we got shown like the farms.
So
Wasn't
like
it, the farm
the little
work?
garden stuff, all the donkeys at work, and they had the women in the fields,
Figs
like
and things,
picking
yeah, doing all
plants and
sorts.
stuff like that. You
Got-
get like hosted in there some like little houses
Urban
and that
family
sort of thing.
Yeah. Got shown like mint tea, which we had quite a bit
Mint
of.
tea banging, yeah.
And
Green
then
tea and mint.
They shown like how
Some
they make the
sugar.
rugs again with all the colours. It's all natural, and then how they hand do like all these
Yeah.
different patterns, isn't it? It's mad to be honest.
Yeah,
You can
it is
see
mental.
why certain rugs cost the way they do. Because I imagine it costs like
Especially
takes time,
them,
to be honest.
handmade, yeah.
Yeah, so much like time's gone into it.
Yeah.
So he shows like all
Mental.
the different ones if you wanted, and then he took us to obviously like a little canyon place, isn't it?
Kind of like you could imagine it as being there like day out to the beach sort of thing. Like there's a little river.
It was nice and cool there because it
Um,
was sheltered from the sun, wasn't
yeah.
it? So
And
it's-
obviously next to water.
I think they said that time of the year you don't see many Europeans on holiday. It's more Moroccans.
Because it's so hot.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we went to places where instead of it being butted with European tourists, it was actually full of Moroccans on
Yeah.
holiday, which is quite cool actually to be more involved, isn't it? People,
We saw a goat getting hogtied and put into the back of a car.
which I don't know why. Maybe it was sold.
Yeah, he
Fuck
must
knows.
have bought it or swapped his child for it or
Or was
something.
injured. I don't really know.
I'd imagine they bought it.
But yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just some jokes.
We were doing a load of photos with the tour guides, and he was just constantly saying fucking tagine, couscous, Africa.
Yeah.
Tagine, couscous, anglais.
Oh yeah.
Like saying everybody's countries and that.
It was
But fucking nobody in our group had any enthusiasm for it, did they? We all just stood there like, what the fuck are you doing? Can you shut up, please? He was jokes, though.
Yeah, no, he was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it was quite cool, our little group. We were the only English people in the group as well. Like, it was French, Polish, Swiss, Australian, German. That's it. I think.
and us.
And
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So it was cool, like, obviously chatting, like we said, different people, isn't
Yeah.
it? Do different things.
Oh, that's one thing. Big thing is that French is heavily used. So it's like their second language.
Yes.
Everybody speaks French.
Which we will get to. I guess one of the Riaz was banter because of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But, yeah. Like you said, it helps if you knew even a bit of French.
Yeah.
But they do speak English because of the tourism. They start
they
to
all
learn
pick
it.
it up. Yeah.
Because I think they said even with the children, they choose to learn English instead of French now. As part of their language.
French
They
is
actually
getting
wanted-
pushed out a bit more.
Yeah, they wanted
like,
to learn English
not
more,
using it.
which is interesting. I guess that's maybe for the tourism, or they just want to. I don't know. But then we went to
Right.
another hotel, didn't we?
That was basically just stop off. So you go
So-
to a hotel, kind of like you stop for a little bit, and then you can like get yourself ready, and then you go out into the desert on your little camels.
That was a nice little hotel. I mean, you could just stay in the
yeah.
pool for a little bit, isn't it? When they're getting all the like camels ready and stuff, they kind of go, you can just chill in the hotel for a bit.
Yeah.
Which is quite insane, like hospitality, to be honest, isn't it? They can just shove you in the back of a van or like
be
around
like,
a
"Wait
little
there,
tent.
fuckers,"
Yeah,
yeah.
wait there for like 2 hours and you're sweating out. Like,
Yeah.
I
It was
mean,
a nice little place.
the fact that what we paid for this was mental service.
Imagine
I think.
you'd be paying like 500 quid for something like this in the UK, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be shit.
No, I don't think you get treated the same
No.
sort of like warmthness as what this was, but like yeah, we got served tea again, just chill in the pool, and you get like your headscarves on, looking jokes.
So going out into the desert, obviously you get on your camel, and your camel fucking hated me. He had the new camel. They were breaking it in, and we were at the back,
Loved
so
it.
it was pretty cool. But the camel, literally, his head was constantly right next to me, and he was trying to bite me and everything. He fucking hated me. And every time you'd get off the camels and walk away, and I could just see it staring at me. Just its eyes were following me everywhere.
That's amazing. Got to suit the vibe, isn't it?
Jokes,
But like you go in like a caravan, didn't they say it was like a line, and mine would always just be to like the left of it or
to
something.
the side, like doing the same thing.
Yeah, I said, suits the owner,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I said, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. But
What
that was
was it?
insane. So you took the camels out to like a little bit into the desert sort of thing.
We took the camels out. You start so that you get out to a certain point for sunset,
Yeah.
watch the sunset, and then take the camels back to the little camp
Yeah.
that we stayed at. Chill out for a little bit, had dinner, didn't we? Which was, what was it?
Well, you have to say with the...
What was it? What did we have for dinner? Tagine.
But I'd say the
Tagine.
Sahara itself was a mad experience to be on it, because like you said, the sand's different
Yeah.
colour, different texture.
It's just a
texture
whole
in the
different
mouth,
world.
it's
Like,
ridiculous.
you look out and you're just like, if you carried on walking, you are fucked.
It's a little like, it's a lot finer. So you see in movies, if you climb a dune, you're pretty written off after one dune
Yeah,
climb,
you sink
to be
a
honest.
lot. It's just so dry and...
So it's mad
Yeah.
when you see these films when they're stranded in the desert. It's like, it probably is pretty intense, to be honest.
Especially that desert. When you're in, like, if you're probably in American deserts, then it's a bit different, I think.
Yeah. And one thing that I saw was when you just saw the dunes appear, isn't it? Because we're technically in the desert for a fair bit, and it was all like rocks, like the Nevada desert.
Yeah.
And then
It's
all of a
different,
sudden
it's
you
nice.
enter the dune territory, and it's like,
You enter what is actually the Sahara, and you're looking at, like, that changed so quick.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
literally just a split line. I was like, what the fuck? But then they said, because it's such a powerful place, and it's like, if the Sahara chose to take you, you probably will go.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
It's like the sea. If the sea chooses
Exactly.
to take you,
It's like
you're
the sea,
gone.
isn't it?
You're
Like the
fucked,
sand
yeah.
version. It's just wild.
Yeah.
But like visually, like picture-wise, isn't it? And like you can see why it's used in films, because it just looks mental,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Mad place,
And
really.
you soundboarded as well, which was jokes. Obviously, like just clicked with like the people that we travelled with, wasn't it? You
Jokes
know,
pictures.
stayed there basically all night.
Yeah, you go back to the camp. You have
Yeah,
you have your dinner, and then they've got all these tents set up. You can sleep outside if you just drag your bed outside if you want, or just sleep on the floor somewhere or whatever.
Exactly.
Fucking sweating. It was about 38 degrees,
Yeah, there's no AC in the little
midnight.
tents.
so it was impossible to sleep. It was fucking
Sweating.
roasting. Like, you'd
I
wake
fell
up.
asleep like a baby.
You fall asleep
Woke
for
up
like 10 minutes.
drenched,
You
though.
wake up and you would be wet. Like,
And they
you
said-
would be wet.
When they said they slept
Fucking
outside, he
wet.
said you had the natural Sahara AC, because that's literally all you had. This
Yeah.
little tad breeze
Even
that
then,
went.
it's-
But
it was hot.
it was, yeah, but it was still a
Cool experience, yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
insane.
then you have to wake
say
up
you'd done it,
butty
didn't it?
early in the dark
Wake up, yeah, it was
to go
pretty
out on
early,
the
wasn't it,
camels
to see the sunrise.
To see the sunrise, which was cool as well.
They
But
take
it
you
was
to a
better
big
than
tune,
sunset,
wasn't it?
wasn't it? Because the sunset was a
Oh,
bit
class.
cloudy.
Yeah,
But the sunrise, and obviously being on the other side, so it was behind the dunes, so you could literally see nothing but the dunes and the sun
yeah,
rise.
exactly. That was amazing, to be
Um,
honest. To actually see it rise as well.
Again,
like
we've-
you're talking about
there'll
June
be-
and that.
Pictures on his Instagram, so
Yeah,
we just have to have a look at that.
but the fact that
Um,
you kind of we just stood, like all sat there on top of this dune, just watching it, like for a bit, isn't it? And it's so like quiet and
Yeah.
it's just peaceful, to be honest. Like you could just chill out in the desert. It wasn't so hot; it'd be an insane
Mm-hmm.
place to just chill
But
out
during the
in that.
morning, it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't
Before
that
it fully
bad.
kicks in.
Yeah.
And then you went back to the hotel, obviously picked up your stuff,
Had breakfast.
and prepared for the banter drive back.
Yeah, 10-hour drive back.
So,
So
there's-
Sunday was literally just written off.
yeah,
stop every now
you had
and
stops, but you didn't stop off anywhere to look at places. You literally just powered it back to Marrakesh, and it did take about 10 hours with like maybe, what was it, 2-hour breaks in between?
Every
But-
sort of 2.5
It was
hours,
wild.
you'd have a break, but you'd have like an hour for lunch, and then you'd have like 10-minute breaks a couple
Tagine?
of times.
Yeah.
Fucking tagine, yeah.
Actually, no, we had them was Berber omelets. I would
You had
recommend
that,
them.
yeah.
They were amazing. And we had couscous as well for one of those trips. for lunch.
Couscous is a big thing, so yeah.
That was nice.
Little salads and all that. As
A lot of
starters are
salads.
always nice.
And fresh fruit
yeah.
there banged as well.
Yeah.
Honeydew melon.
Honeydew melon and
slapped out
watermelon. Yeah, they're so much better than in this country.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
a lot better.
Exactly.
Fucking pile of wank in this country.
But that 10 hours didn't seem too of a drag though. It sounds mad on paper, but like I didn't feel like
it was
it wasn't
broken
too
up
bad,
well.
didn't it? Yeah, drifting now.
So-
Catch up on some sleep, which you didn't particularly get.
And it was air conditioned, so it wasn't actually too hot.
Sweating out, yeah.
it
you went in
was
a sweat
hot,
box and
but it wasn't like
yeah.
too hot. So
And you always had water. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah, a billion bottles of water flying around all over the place.
that was it, wasn't it? Oh no, then we got dropped off to Marrakesh again. What was it then? Trying to find that other riad we stayed in. So we checked out of the first one. We went into a new one, which was Riyadh Layla. Is it Laila?
Yeah.
I'd recommend all of them we did actually. So Sidi Baba was the first one.
Yeah.
Then Layla's this one that we're checking in, which was a bit more jokes to find, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit more dodgy. Although when we were then trying to find our one on the last night, we ended up walking past there accidentally. We were like, oh, look at where we are. Like,
oh yeah, exactly.
Jokes,
kind of like how weird all the alleyways were, but some of them did actually look familiar, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that place again was like one door, but it opened into an insane
into
complex,
a massive
to be
place.
honest.
Like you look
Yeah.
at it and you think, this is just going to be some shitty little, like there's going to be 3 rooms and like nothing else. But it's fucking massive.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
it's
nice.
bigger than most hotels in the UK.
But that had like
So-
a little pool and it was amazing. But the only problem with that one was the language barrier, which isn't anyone's
Jokes.
fault. It's just is what it is. But
We got by, didn't we?
he was completely French, but we managed to get obviously thanks to your phone we had to translate, but we still managed to figure out like there was things that we did and we still managed to be fine with it, to be honest.
And you had the bird that joined us in the room.
Oh yeah, the
Would
bird that
not
sat on the AC
leave.
box.
Yeah, it
Smart
literally
idea
sat
though,
in
isn't
there
it?
all day.
Spend all night in an AC box
Yeah.
and outside, isn't it? Smart bird, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an insane experience just doing that, isn't it? Again, we didn't really take in. It had like a rooftop terrace. We didn't really take in the whole thing because we had to leave again.
Yeah,
early,
so
wasn't it?
we got there, we dumped our stuff, we went out, we got some food, and then we went back, didn't we, really? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
it was that. And then,
Which we had pizza that day, because, fuck tagine.
yeah, it was nice to have a little break from something.
It was always either Italian or
Yeah.
Moroccan. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I
we were
think it
having
was, wasn't
pasta
it?
as well, weren't we? So it was always those 2 items, yeah.
And then following morning, we went to the coast. So it's so different,
Yeah,
wasn't it? It's
so-
nice to have a break from the Marrakesh vibe, isn't it? I mean, we could probably say it maybe at the end, but I said it's insane to see it and experience the culture like that, but it's like what you'd say a street style. Would you find that a bit too intense after a while if you're not particularly a street person? I mean, we're from countryside as well,
Yeah.
and coast, so you kind of like your own space at times. And I do feel like it was nice to go to the coast to see it at least. And I'm glad we did go because I think it was an insane vibe. to be
So
fair.
Agadir.
Yeah.
'Cause you haven't actually said the name of the place
Oh,
yet. Yeah. You get a bus from Marrakesh. Takes about
CTM.
3 hours.
Yeah.
CTM, yeah. You can book it
Yeah.
online. Can you remember the name? Bookaway, was it?
Book away, yeah, we used. Yeah.
Book a way. Yeah.
Unless
that's what
you
we use
can
because we can't speak
understand
French,
French,
so
yeah.
we couldn't understand the actual CTM website. But that was easy enough. It was easy enough to find. We just walked to the bus station, didn't we? And,
Yeah, you walk or get a
Get on it
taxi.
and
It's
go,
up to you what
yeah.
you want to do. And then, yeah, literally just got on the coach like any other coach thing. It kind of just calls it and you just go on it for a bit. And then we got there, wasn't it? What was it, 2.5 hour journey from Marrakesh?
3
maybe?
hours. It is 3 hours. It says 2 hours 45 minutes, but it takes at least 3.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, then we walked from there down to the beach and then we stayed in a hotel this time. It was kind of like an apartment hotel, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Golden Beach apart hotels.
Yeah.
So it's an actual apartment.
So
where
we
you got
experienced
kitchen
like a
and living
hotel
room and
vibe
stuff, yeah.
instead of a riad. Well, you can have some riads there, but I think they were a lot further down the coast. So part of Agadir, there was a lot of hotels, weren't there? And I think that's where you see your resort holidays as well.
So we were on a resort,
Yeah.
basically. That's what it would be considered as, I think. But let's just say we weren't really there that much other than to stay in the room
Yeah.
when we wanted it.
It was nice to have a room for a couple of days
And leave our
just
stuff
chill
somewhere,
for
yeah.
a second. But
So first day there
Oh, yeah,
was
we went out, somewhere.
sandboarding, wasn't it?
yeah,
So we went out with the little tour dude. I can't remember people's names, but
Omar, yeah,
Omar,
he was yeah. It turns out to be quite a good contact, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he takes you out and he obviously talks to you like a little bit about the coast, and he obviously is from the coast himself, and he said he would recommend anyone to see the coast, isn't it?
yeah, it's all like the fishing stuff and all that, and
It's a lot more like you'd
it's
expect
a different
from
way
that.
to live, yeah.
But he took us past. Do you know where it was? Tagatsu, and then there was another place at the top, wasn't it? Azori, something like that. It's like a fishing village. There was like Banana Bay, Banana Village. You keep going
The
up
place
there.
that we stopped for the sandboarding was Tamri, and then you got Capra here, which is like on the corner near Tamri, which I think was where all the fishing, a lot of the fishing stuff
Yeah.
happens. Not entirely sure, I could be wrong there, but it's Tamri area. That's where
That's where we stopped for like
That's
tea
where
and
we-
stuff. We saw his his
I can't
boss's
remember.
family,
I don't know where we
wasn't it?
stopped for tea.
Yeah, Tamri, it says on mine.
It was.
And then
okay.
we went to a place called Imsuan or something. Imsouane. I guess that's
Okay,
where
I
some
don't
of the
know
sand
that one.
dunes are, where you can do it.
Yeah.
Again, it's different sand. It's like what you'd see at a beach, really. Those sort of sand dunes.
Yeah, it was just beach sand, yeah. So.
But it's still technically part of the desert, which is mad, isn't it? The whole thing is part of a desert, which is just crazy.
It's a cool place, so definitely worth going. It's cool to drive up the coast and see like a lot of it.
Yeah, exactly. So you just see the whole thing.
See all the
fish,
all the fish markets and all that sort of stuff when you're going past. But yeah, cool little vibe on that. So
yeah, exactly. Like you say, it's nice to have that coastal breeze as well, and it's just
exactly where it was about 30 degrees instead of 40.
It's
45,
a bit cooler,
so.
than what it was at Marrakesh.
Yeah.
But like you say, you still get burnt, obviously being little white boys. But.
After that, it was just back to.
Then we went out and had.
Back to the hotel, got changed and shit, and then we went down to the coast and like the beachfront.
Yeah.
Walked around a bit, went to the restaurant, saw a dog begging for food, and that was pretty sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mr. Looky Looky's always coming up
Hello,
and
please,
asking
guys.
you whilst you're
Hello, please, bye.
trying to eat.
Yeah.
Little kids asking for water.
Yeah. I mean, you probably get that in quite a few places.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
lot
not
of people
as.
there,
You wouldn't say they still come up and obviously ask if you want something or anything, but it's not as mental as it was in Marrakesh, though. Like,
no,
not as
it's
intense
like
in your face, is
they
it?
kind of respect the fact that you don't want it.
Yeah.
So you're probably better off saying no rather than trying to ignore them as well.
Yes. Or just say you're not English, or like wherever they're trying to tell you.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, that was it for that night, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was kind of just having some food, and then it was quite nice actually. Again, that was Italian, I think we had.
Yeah, it was.
And then
Italian
went back
restaurant.
to the hotel,
chilled out for a little bit the next day. In all fairness, because it's the only day we actually had to lie in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't such an early start
so
for doing
we didn't
something.
get up until about 9 o'clock, did we?
And
then chill out, and we ended up going to Paradise Valley.
Yeah.
Which wasn't so paradise.
yeah,
So they said they haven't had rain in not proper rain in 4 years, so it's dried up. It was a valley that was full of water. I asked, and he said it was about 7 meters deep, and there was nothing. Nothing.
mental, isn't it? Sad, to be fair.
Yeah, you go down to the very bottom where they'd have little restaurants and people selling drinks and stuff like that. And there was
packed,
a tiny little pool of water that people were going in. And it's quite funny because they'll have the tables and chairs in the water, so you can sit on the table and chair in the water. So obviously it cools you down a bit. But a lot of the shops and that were
closed and no business
because there was nothing there. So obviously there's not many people. But I can imagine, with the water there, it'd be fucking mental.
It'd be insane, yeah.
It'd be so busy.
It would be one place I wouldn't. Maybe if you wanted to just see it, but I wouldn't. To go, obviously, what the pictures are saying, that's different because it's it's just generally nothing there now. It's just all dried up, just wasteland. You'd like to think, hopefully, if they just had a monsoon or something, isn't it? And all kind of just got back, because I'd imagine that place would look amazing.
We wanted something to do, so we went knowing that it wasn't going to be.
I didn't think it'd be so dried up there. I thought it'd be obviously pretty dried up, but not like that.
No, it was a bit of a shock, to be honest.
Yeah.
But still cool to see, even though there was nothing.
How it was done up, isn't it? You can just see if it was in business, it would be an amazing place. And they said there was a Morocco legend, I think, isn't it? Jimi Hendrix called it Paradise Valley. I don't know whether it's confirmed, but it is a Moroccan.
That's what the dude said.
They say, Moroccan people say it.
Yeah.
And that dude was amazing as well, to be honest.
Yeah,
he was a really friendly guy. And he said he even had it since COVID and things, wasn't it? His job obviously shut down because of no rain and things. The horses, he couldn't have his ranch as well, wasn't it? So it was kind of the rain droughts just kind of fucked it
Jokes
as well.
moded it.
As well as COVID obviously fucked it. But he's obviously said you can do tours around there as well, especially around near the Paradise Valley area where you can take the horses and do little horse excursions and things. Maybe a 5-day camping out in the desert doing that. That'd be amazing, to be honest.
Fuck that.
But before Paradise Valley, we went to another botanical garden.
Yeah, so on the way, botanical gardens where they show you around all the little plants and stuff they grow, cactuses and that. They let you try some honey and some weird peanut butter stuff. They've got all their products that they make with their
all natural, isn't it?
All their plants and shit like that. So it's pretty cool to see again. More Moroccan tea, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was it for that day, really, wasn't it? Again, we went back. We went down to the beach, wandered around on the beach at night, had some foods.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And then we had to leave early again the next day, didn't we?
Yeah. Left probably the same sort of time we would have left Marrakesh. They left Agadir to go back to Marrakesh. and yeah, we walked straight
Absolute
to
jokes trying to find the fucking.
Oh yeah,
Riyadh,
that was even more weird because it
it was fucked.
it was down a couple alleyways, and then the doorway or the place to it was kind of like my chest height, wasn't it? So it's like,
Even
how is
I
that
had to
an
duck
entrance?
for it,
Like
yeah.
what? But yeah, again, it opened into somewhere insane though. Like just so confusing. Like what you might think you're going down the wrong way, you might not be. So just
you probably
see
aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be because there's so many alleyways,
So
but
fucked, yeah.
the doorway isn't so in your face. Like it is just like, I guess this is it. But
It's not. It says.
and we would say some locals are probably
says it
happy,
there,
isn't it? And would
so-
show you. You just kind of got to have your wits about you with that sort
Yeah.
of
So
bullshit.
we'll go on to people's attitude and what to avoid
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. Right, that place was amazing. What was that? Was that just a spa? No,
No, it was a Riyadh again.
Riyadh Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera
Yeah.
Hotel and Spa.
Definitely recommend that.
Al Jazeera Riyadh and Spa.
Yeah,
I think it was
definitely
called.
check that out.
Cool place, yeah.
But again, the hospitality for that was amazing as well. Like he gave you like a little tour of the place.
Yeah,
Gave you tea on
mint tea
arrival.
on arrival. Mint tea.
Mint tea on arrival.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Moroccan
into that
tea.
though.
We've
isn't
got to
it?
call it Moroccan tea.
Yeah,
'Cause technically, it's not mint tea.
yeah.
It's Moroccan tea.
Yeah. It was amazing though. I'd
Cool.
actually get addicted to that, drinking that.
But
yeah,
we went
again-
there. We didn't really spend much time in there. We went. In the pool. We actually went in a pool in that place and took some photos, which again are on your Instagram.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it was amazing to be
But
honest.
did we
That's
go
such a
out?
nice looking place. No, because we got there, we checked out there, and then we had to go get the bus again, like a little mini bus to was it Tamel Zlut, TAMESLOUHT or Agafe Desert. isn't it?
Agafe. Call it Agafe because that's what they all call it. So Agafe Desert, just outside of Marrakesh.
Yeah, about an hour and something drive.
Yeah, just over an hour. Where we did camels and quad bikes, dinner
And some
and entertainment.
Yeah, it's cool to see though.
Shisha on that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So the quad bike was cool, wasn't it? Just going around on that. It's
So
just
actually-
again, it's like rocky sort of desert, so it's like Nevada desert vibes.
And something that we haven't done before as well, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
we've done buggies in the desert. We've obviously done the camels. We've done jet skis. So to do quad bikes instead, it's pretty cool. And it was like you could kind of send yourself. You had to stay in a line, but you could go fast enough that it was
Jackson.
enjoyable, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the camel was obviously the guy
camels.
that helped us was like insane. He stood on them and everything.
It was cool because it was
Cool
only me and you
photography
as
and
well.
that. Yeah, we had a photographer as well, wasn't it? That got some cool stuff.
Yeah,
Again,
so-
picked up some decent contacts. So I did say it would be cool to, like you said, we wanted to go to the coast. One reason was to see the surf, wasn't it? And they did say it has similar surf season to UK.
Yeah, because
So-
there's not enough wind and that in the summer. As such,
Yeah, so
although the temperature in Agadir stays between sort of 22 and 28 pretty much all year round
yeah,
for the daytime at
which
least.
is quite nice actually. And then
Yeah.
they did say the surf season's October to like April, which is kind of like the UK. So if you want to surf, go visit there, or Tagazout, which is kind of like the place a bit further up from Agadir.
You can
say
surf
that.
during the summer, like in England, but it
Picky
might be a
though,
bit hit
isn't
and
it?
miss,
Yeah.
and the waves aren't going to be as big, so it depends how much of a surf you actually want.
And they did say possibly in the future, the transfer, rather than get a coach, they hope to trying to get a train, isn't it? So it's like an hour
Yeah.
rather than 3. So hopefully it might attract more tourists, which again helps them out. Because like when we were seeing it there, you were seeing hotels being built and everything, wasn't it? It's forever expanding, it seems like. And for them, I'm happy for them that they're getting the money to actually upgrade and
exactly.
improve. As long as the tourism doesn't
Die out.
hit their
Well, it
culture.
doesn't die out as
you will
well.
die out, yeah. It's kind of like, it's not just tailored to tourism. Like they
Yeah.
still keep obviously their life, and then we have our life, and then you do whatever, isn't it?
I love how we've gone completely rogue there.
Yeah, but I just thought I had to say it. But what was it? Yeah, I don't even know where that led.
What? As to
Don't know.
why
Why
you
we
went
went
on
off
to
top-
that?
yeah.
I don't have a
There must be
fucking
something.
clue
I
why.
haven't listened
I
to it.
suppose because you said about quad bikes and that, and then you've decided, surfing. That's an activity, isn't it? And then you've gone off on that
Or
one.
is it? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know.
the first thing you said was surfing.
But then, going
Um,
back to the Agfa Desert, yeah, that was insane, to be honest. Just do the camels and sunset.
Dinner
and all
again.
that stuff.
Tagine.
The entertainment was pretty
Fucking
cool
tagine.
with their little hats.
Again, if you go on to, I don't know if you've got anything on your Instagram about that. We've got the minute-long mashup, actually, so there will be something. You can go on to our TikTok, and there's one video of some dude swinging his hat around.
Yeah.
Which is jokes. So cool vibe again, like a bit more culture as well.
It was cool to
it?
see some entertainment, like from like Morocco entertainment,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
Me dancing with the belly dancer and the little musician people as well. It's quite funny.
yeah, it was good. And then obviously, just had a sheesh to end the night.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's it then. I mean, we went back. We stayed in the hotel. We went in the pool and took some pictures, didn't we? And then we went home the next day. I mean, that's it pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, and then
It's a trip
basically,
in a
went
nutshell.
home, and then obviously apparently there was an issue with UK air traffic
UK
control,
flights got
which
fucked,
was banter.
but ours
But
was fine. So
all in all, it was successful, isn't it?
So the big point, a lot of people, especially if you look like you don't know what you're doing, which is going to be the case for any tourist really, because it's so fucking confusing to navigate around, isn't it? People will see you like maybe looking at your map or looking around like thinking, where am I? And they'll come up to you and ask you like, oh, where are you going? So you'll end up saying, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll show you where it is.
They'll show you there, but they won't ask you.
They'll
They'll
you.
Yeah, they'll want you to like follow them straight away. Like they won't ask you anything. So they're a bit like direct, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, and then you could just tell them to suck themselves. Well, you wouldn't say that, but
Well, we did we got a couple of people asked. So the first time was somebody asked us, and we were like, oh yeah, okay. And then they just expect money afterwards.
yeah. But he was fine with like what you said, because you get some that might take the piss, isn't it? It's like money wise, but
or then lead you down some weird fucking dodgy alleyway where they say there's no cameras or anything, there's no people, and then try and take all your money, sort of thing. So that sort of thing, you could see it happening.
But the first time was kind of like we didn't really know what you were looking for, because I said to Riyadh, it's kind of like I was expecting possibly maybe a bigger sign and things, isn't it? And
not just a random door.
He did give some insane advice where it was just like, oh, these are the sort of signs to look out for, isn't it? Or these are the street
It was
things.
actually helpful.
He actually was a helpful person. Obviously, being your first night, you're kind of overwhelmed with the atmosphere anyway. So it's like, what is going on? But once you kind of settled in, it's like, okay, it's not as
If
crazy.
you go somewhere, drop a pin on where you're staying, because then it's so much easier to look on your maps and figure out where you're going at.
Yeah, get it back. And you said possibly you swapped between Apple Maps and Google Maps, didn't you?
Yeah, Google Maps seemed a bit better, but
it just
not
doesn't
necessarily
update
for everything. No, it was Booking.com map that didn't update when you were walking. When you click on where the hotel is, it didn't update. So, but again, the maps are just shit. So just aimlessly wander until you find someone.
So, like you said, maybe not always walk around with your phone in your hand, because you're just asking for a moped to possibly.
Yeah,
you get that anywhere. Like you can, isn't it? But you're probably asking for that to probably get snatched. Maybe not have anything in your pockets. I mean, I didn't have in my hand. I didn't feel anything, but like we had the little bum bag things, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fanny
best thing,
pack.
because then it's obviously on you can have it on your chest, can't you? So it's easy, you can see it.
Don't point at anything, because I guess you're showing like some sort of more than interest, so it's kind of like they're trying to get drawn into it, isn't it? So anything that makes you come across that you're just some clueless tourist, isn't it? They'll obviously leech off, isn't it? So just kind of just have part of your wits about you. But that's in Marrakesh. Agadir seems a lot more laid back, isn't it? But you still had the people, but you didn't have eyes in the back of your head every 2 seconds. There's mopeds flying past you or anything, is it? You had a bit of space.
Yeah.
So it is quite intense, especially if you're not used to it.
Yeah,
it can get a bit exhausting, isn't it? Not shit, but like exhausting.
But like you have constantly, like every fucking 30 seconds, you've got somebody trying to sell you something or in your ear, and it is just like, can you fuck off? Like these people are really pissing me off now. So it gets a bit shit. But it's cool because it's different. At the same time, like it's not like it's anything you would have experienced before. Like you can't say you get the same walking through the street of London, can you?
Yeah, I do think, I guess, the end, like it depends how much business they get. Because I guess if you wanted business, you'd just approach everyone you see, isn't it? Like trying to get them in. So I understand the grind, isn't it? It just can be
sell
just
your
like
trampy little football tops.
Yeah, it's just a case of just like I've said no. Like you saw one side of me, and it's just like if you keep pestering, it's just gonna get. You know what I mean? I'll just be as aggressive as what you're being to me, isn't it? You just kind of reflect. But it's not like, you know what I mean? People still respect what you're doing, I think. So it's not like they're being bellends for no reason.
Cool. I don't have anything else to say. So on the matter.
Other than that, I think it was absolutely like
cool place to go. So check it out. That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's, I don't think there's anything else to say.
That is Morocco for you. We will move on to the next item on the agenda.
I wonder what the next place me and you're going to travel to.
Fuck no, I keep getting asked where I'm going next, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Leave
I've got
me
asked that a
alone.
lot. I did say it'd be nice to do a long haul, but it depends what the funds is saying. I think me and you probably could do somewhere Europe pretty soon, but I don't know if it's pod worthy. We could
No,
do.
just some
Depends what we end up doing. If it's
Yeah, exactly.
It might be jokes, but I'm sure there'll be something else coming up.
Well, come
Normally
on.
me and you just piss off out of this country, don't you? Do something jokes.
Figure that out when we actually know.
I mean,
So-
what did we plan for Morocco? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was
It was a bit more than that. It was maybe like a month. But yeah, not as much as we've had for some trips. But not as little as we've had for some trips.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. It did get to a point where I just want to go on a camel in the desert. I'm pretty sure that was my first message to you because I just thought it'd be something jokes. Plus, we had a pretty shit summer in the UK this year, so it was nice to have some sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, new music.
Flying off topic. This is the this is the new music that has dropped on Friday the 8th. So we'll do that.
Of September. In case we're
September,
this out.
yeah. So Scraps, Normal, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Bongos, Lil Peep, I Love Mackinnon, Diamonds, Joyner Lucas 17, Joey Valence and Bray, Punk Tactics, James Blake playing Robots Into Heaven, A Boogie with the Hoodie, B4 BOA, and Olivia Rodrigo, Guts.
Cool.
So it's a bit quiet. I'm buzzing to listen to Drake's, to be honest, this month. That's my agenda.
We'll review that when it comes out.
Yes.
So it'll probably be shit, but never mind.
Can't be doubting Jake like that.
I can.
I don't know. Past couple of projects, I don't know.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, Fact and Joke, you got them?
No, so we'll do the thing that I said. So we're going to take them out and do separate videos, hopefully. So we'll go on to what was
We'll
the
take
best...
them out the pod all together.
Out of the pod, yes, we can do it. We can make it its own videos for YouTube as like try not to laughs and shit like that with our shit jokes and that sort of thing. I think
Okay, yeah.
like fact episodes, like you get 10 minutes of us just ranting off random facts to each other,
Okay.
sort of thing. It's better than just having the odd one random one. I think that you can have like an insightful video where you learn a little bit more. So I think it's a
Could
bit more
do, yeah.
interesting.
Like, I guess, like, as you get more of a structure, we can just see what the people want as well.
We'll just
we'll just
add things in
restructure,
and
isn't
out
it?
and figure out what
If
the
people
fuck is
wanna-
going on.
People miss
so-
your shitty little joke at the end of an episode, then
Exactly. If they
put it
want
back
at the
in, isn't
start,
it?
then we can put it at
Yeah.
the start.
if they miss it.
Right, so I'll just throw it out there. What's your release of the week?
My release of the week.
Yeah, what's your favourite release of the week out of the new music that you've listed?
Scraps Normal.
Okay,
Because
so,
Scraps has come back after a little while, and I like that artist,
Cool.
the UK artist.
Joey Valance for me, and Bray. Just fucking Logic's on it, isn't he? So
Yeah.
sorts
It'd be
it
interesting to see
Cool, though.
how big Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Probably an interesting music video. I haven't seen it, but if it's anything like WAP, expect another phase of that.
out. Stay off TikTok.
Yeah, so and Joyner Lucas. What was the fact behind that? Because Mac Miller's passed away.
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah. So as of recording this, so yesterday, so the 7th of September, I think it is, was the 5-year anniversary for when Mac Miller died, and the tune that he's used, Joyner Lucas has used in that. Obviously, he says at the start of the song, "Rest in peace, Mac Miller," or whatever he says.
It's good.
And it's the Donald Trump Mac Miller song,
Which was slapped back in
beat,
the day, wasn't
which
it?
is probably a beat from something else in the past. I don't actually know if it's Mac Miller's beat or not, but he uses the beat that Mac Miller used. So
Whilst we're on that, actually, the Lil Peep one as well. You said that was his last project, wasn't it?
Lil Peep's project. So
Diamonds.
he was working on it when he died. He virtually finished it. But I think the record label had to touch up on it at the end and finish a few of the songs, and then it's been held off for release and basically got told it wasn't going to release, and then a couple of weeks ago it randomly got mentioned. It's like, yep, okay, here's a single, and then all of a sudden the album's dropped, and it's like, fucking hell, where's this come from?
It's quite good. If you said it was a quiet release week, but it was cool respecting those people in that way.
Yeah.
And XXX mixtape went on streaming platforms as well, I think. One of them.
XXX Tenacious, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called, yeah.
Tentacion. Yeah.
I just call him Tenacious, XXX Tenacious.
What
D.
Tenacious D?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool, like respecting those people. You know what I mean? Still giving them the platform, even when they are past. Like their music still is quite lively and lives on. So
cool.
Boom. Play whatever you want to play. Scraps is banging.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Nobody cares.
Thank you for listening to another episode. You can find us on all streaming platforms under the SoulInsights Podcast. Please leave us a rating and review. Check out our socials, CSI Index,
TikTok and Instagram,
the SoulInsights Index,
YouTube,
SoulInsights.